That steps for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon,
We can't ask Rashad a question.
Hey, Rashad.
Has reached a verdict just about an hour ago in the trial of Caysen Allison. We know a lot of you have been following this very closely. Allison was accused of fatally stabbing Joe Ramirez at Belton High School back in 2022. After several hours of deliberation, the jury found Allison not guilty of murder in the death of Ramirez, but guilty of criminally negligent homicide. News 10's Isabella Quintanilla is joining us now live from outside the Bell County Justice Center, where she has been following this trial since last week. Isabella, what can you tell us?
Yeah, that's right, Julie. It has been a long couple of days with the jurors deliberating for nearly 11 hours in total, and many people anxiously awaited the verdict. And as you can imagine, emotions were extremely high as they waited. Even before the jury came in, the entire courtroom was tense, with people on both sides of the court looking both nervous and already getting emotional. As the deputy read the verdict to the defense, there were gasps of shock and relief from both sides. And when walking out, the anger and frustration among Joe Ramirez's family and friends was clear, with one person throwing a water bottle against a wall, another screaming as they walked out of the building. We did hear from Allison's defense attorney, Zachary Boyd, who says this was a hard case, but that they're relieved by the outcome.
This case has been accompanied with threats against Caysen Allison, against Caysen Allison's family, against the defense team. You felt that tension in the courtroom. We have continually requested people to keep an eye out, people to investigate. And I'm just thankful that the Bell County Sheriff's Office has taken it so seriously and taken everyone's safety seriously. Caysen's family, the juries.
Allison has been released under his bond conditions, which will stay in place until his sentencing hearing on June 16th. Now, depending on what Judge Falconer decides, Allison could face 6 months to 2 years in a state jail. Reporting live in Belton, Isabella Quintanilla, KWTX News 10.
All right, so let's see what actually happened. It's my first time hearing about the case. I think people have brought it up in my comment section before, but I didn't look into it. This is written by Jim Heiss, Sidney Walker, and Matthew Gormala. A jury returned a guilty verdict for criminally negligent unaliving Tuesday in the trial of former Belton High School student Caysen Allison. It came more than 12 hours of deliberations. Allison was accused of yank Joe Ramirez to unalive in a bathroom of a Belton High School in 2022. He faces up to 6 months and to 2 years in the state jail facility, according to Allison's defense attorney, Zachary Boyd. Those in attendance were informed that the jury had returned the verdict at 10:45 a.m. Shortly after, people piled into the courtroom anxiously awaiting. Joe Ramirez's mother walked in crying. People on both sides were reaching for tissues, had their hands down, heads down, and were rocking back and forth. Judge Wade Faulkner entered at 10:50 a.m. He acknowledged the high emotions of the case and reminded the members of the gallery the rules of the court, asking everyone to maintain silence, be respectful, and stay seated regardless of what was read. The elected foreperson formed the jury, then handed the written verdict to the deputy, who then passed the verdict to Judge Faulkner, who read out the final decision that the jury had not found Allison guilty of unaliving or manslaughter, but guilty of criminally negligent unaliving. There were lots of tears and even anger following the verdict. Judge Faulkner then told Allison that the probation office would be working on a pre-sentence report in this case. Boyd then asked Judge Faulkner if Allison's ankle monitor could be removed. The state objected to this, saying he is not eligible based on the verdict. Then they asked the judge to find Allison's bond insufficient. Judge Faulkner declined the request to remove Allison's ankle monitor and deemed the bond sufficient. The sentencing phase will begin on June 16th at 9 a.m. Allison chose to have his sentence come off from Faulkner instead of the jury. Ramirez's sister, Olivia Olivia Ramirez posted to Facebook that her brother did not receive justice. You deserve so much more, the post reads. So much more life and so much more justice. Let's see this post. At this point, justice for Joe. You may have been failed today, bub, but one day things will change. You deserve so much more life and so much more justice. You'd be sick if you knew what was happening. All these people who didn't know you, you can say all day long that you were a bully or mess around and find out, but they don't know who you were. Our baby was the goofiest dude that you meet, the one who would do anything for anyone without one complaint. Not a day goes by that I don't miss you. Jeez Louise. So what happened? He was bullying the kid in the bathroom and the kid stabbed him in the bath. Like what? What happened? You would love all these kids. Dang, they would love the mess out their Uncle Joe. I love you so much, bub. I know that you were failed. Dang, what happened, bro? That's what I'm trying to figure out. That's all I'm trying to figure out is what happened with this case. Another relative, Ramirez, Victoria Ramirez, also posted a response to the verdict on Facebook. You can read that here. Okay. For 3 years now, we've had to stay silent about the facts. We've had to sit back and watch rumors swirl and let people make false accusations about Joe and our family, all while just trying to keep our head above water. But we remain strong while clinging on to hope that the justice system would do its job, hope that proof would be enough, hope that the justice, I've read the same thing, my bad. But trusting the justice system feels like a sick freaking joke. It's so broken. This stuff is so twisted and evil. The truth is, no verdict would have brought you back. Nothing would have made us feel whole again. No group of 12 people could come up with anything to fill the emptiness left behind. You were taken from us too soon, and nothing can change that. But the true justice that you deserve was not served today, and it's heartbreaking. The stupid, selfish, evil person responsible for taking your life should have been found guilty for unaliving you, because that's what the heck it is. The jury failed you. The justice system failed you. I'm so very sorry, bub. We will continue to scream justice for Joe. We will always stand up for you. And wow. And we will always, always miss you, Bubba, until we meet again. F. Caysen Allison. Wow. Wow. Some strong words, bro. Some strong words. Hold on. In a press conference after the verdict, Boyd said criminally negligent unaliving means the jury found Allison did not intend. He didn't intend to, huh? They saw a young man scared, injured, and reacting in such a violent encounter. So what was going on? They were fighting? That's all I'm trying to find out. What happened? In order to convict on unaliving, the jury has to consider 3 theories that were based on whether Allison intended to harm. Okay, so there's more in this story. I see the little bar on the side. There's more on this. They not return a guilty verdict. They will also consider, if they did not consider that, it would be the least severe of all charges, criminally negligence. Over the course of the trial, the state tried to make, okay, finally, we're getting to the point. What happened? Thank you. Okay. Over the course of the trial, the state tried to make the case that Allison could not have acted in self-defense. They pointed to a number of facts to support this theory, including an alleged threat he made on Snapchat to Ramirez. Who's Ramirez? Ramirez is him? Yeah, it is. Ramirez is a young man. To Ramirez, his actions when he walked into the bathroom and did not choose to leave, and discarding of the knife after it happened. The jury had to consider whether or not the state proved beyond reasonable doubt that Caysen did not. Okay, so this sounds like when they say if he made a threat to bro on Snapchat, right? It had to have been some type of smoke of like, you gonna leave me alone. And he said, boy, what? See you in the bathroom. And then they saw each other in the bathroom. And then I guess Buddy Mexican thought, you know what I'm saying? Ramirez thought that it was you know what I'm saying? It was a fight. And then white boy Allison said, no. I don't know, bro. That's some crazy stuff, bro. High school, a crazy place, boy. I'm glad I'm out. Jeez Louise. The jury had to consider whether or not the state proved to be beyond reasonable doubt that Caysen did not act in self-defense, and they wholly failed to do so. And let's not forget the shadow cast by the investigation itself, the failure to Mirandize Caysen at the arrest, the minimization of Caysen Allen's rights under Miranda at the beginning of the interrogation. Allison's defense team focused on the inconsistencies in the police investigation. They said law enforcement said that they looked less than an hour of video. They simply chose not to do a complete, thorough, comprehensive investigation. The defense also pointed to the claim that someone in Ramirez's group threatened Allison with the weapon before the fight in the bathroom, which argued the support of self-defense. Despite the lesser charge, Boyd said there are no happy endings for anyone. This is a hard case. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I think Caysen won, bro. Caysen won. Caysen only got to do 2 years. Man, look, boy. Man, could have had a life sentence. He only got 2 years. That sounds like a winner to me. There's no winners, I guess, because he was placed in this legal thing and and everything like that, and he has to live with that guilt on his mind for the rest of his life. I don't think there's anything that could, that's gonna be on his mind for the rest as long as he's living, bro. And that sucks, but hey, tough blow, but that's how it go. Where we at? This was a hard case, and nobody should ever outlive their child. No human being should have their child leave the earth in a violent way. I'm so sorry for the loss in the Allison family. I'm so sorry for the loss because there's no good outcome with this. Allison will remain out on bond while he awaits the sentencing, Boyd said. Wow. So what happened though? Like the boys just fought. Like what's the background? What's like the basis story? Where people have it? I don't know. People be, spotty sometimes. Texas team found not guilty and during a bathroom brawl. Okay, so it's a bathroom fight. Thank you. I finally get it. Stabbed by a fellow student during a fight at school was found not guilty by a jury. Caysen Allison, 21, waived his rights against self-incrimination and confessed to unaliving Jose Luis Ramirez Jr., 18, on May 3rd, 2022. How do I get this off of the screen? I'll just pause it. At Belton High School, according to the arrest affidavit obtained by People, defense attorney Zachary Boyd argued that in both his opening and closing statements that Allison's actions that day were all in self-defense and that he found himself forced to fight Ramirez and a group of his friends. The argument that seemed to resonate with the jurors, given the option of convicting Allison of unaliving or criminally negligent, opted at the lowest of the three charges, criminally negligence. The jury deliberated 12 hours. We read that Allison will be back in court on June 19th for sentencing. We heard that he'll face anywhere from 6 months to 2 years and a fine of $10,000. That's it? Allison will remain free on bond until the hearing during the trial. That's crazy, bro. During the trial, a recording made by Ramirez's friends showing the fight between the man and the stabbing was presented to the prison. So is this still out? Is this video still out? Hold on. Caysen Allison video. Is the video still out? Let's see. Was it scrubbed off the internet? You'll probably find it on Twitter, to be honest. Let me see. Twitter. Caysen Allison. Caysen Allison. Is there a video? Hold on, I'm trying to see if I can find this fight. Caysen Allison, nothing. I guess they scrubbed it. Is this it? Nah, this is a random school fight. Another random school fight. I guess they have scrubbed it off the internet. It's somewhere on it. It might be on Reddit or something like that. I don't know. I want to see I want to see it for myself, see what's going on. Because if they showed him the video and Buddy got off on the smallest charge, I don't know, bro. Ramirez was allegedly seen throwing a punch at Allison in the recording. At the time, Allison swings back at Ramirez with a bro. Nah, bro. The video then ends as Allison allegedly cornering Ramirez. At the time, other teenagers all fled from the bathroom. Security cameras at the school then captured Ramirez leaving the bathroom and collapsing in the hall. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's terrible. The video also showed blood. Okay. Jeez Louise. Oh man. Despite the efforts of the school nurse who rushed to Ramirez and began administering life-saving care, the teenager was pronounced unalive upon arriving at the local hospital. Jeez. An autopsy report showed that Ramirez had stab wounds in the chest, back, legs, and arm. Also, he hit multiple times. Police arrested Allison the same day. How did he get off? He shot multiple times, bro. How did he get off? I don't know how he got. I don't know how he beat that, bro. Because I think they said Karmelo just did it once. Jeez Louise, bro. Jeez Louise. I don't know, bro. I think if we going based off of this and bro got off, what state this is? Let me see what state this is. Teenager fired at school. What state is this for the new people who've never watched me before? I apologize. What state is this? I went to college, I promise. It's just the way I speak. Where is the what state is this? Do they have a state? Let me see for no Ramirez. Sorry, Justice for Joe. They don't have a state. Is this Texas? What state is this? KCNTV. Where is that? Oh, Texas. So the same state. I ain't gonna lie, bro. If you're looking for the answer of what this means for Karmelo, it's looking like by all means Karmelo about to at the very least get what bro got, which was the negligence. I think it's all but confirmed now. The fact that he had, and this is me speaking, this is not facts and everything like that. This is just me speaking. I have to put that out. I think that the fact that the judge lowered the bond and he was bonded out and stuff like that, I think Karmelo just has a really good case, bro. And then based off of state laws and everything like that in Texas and how they have kind of called this trial, I think Buddy about to get off. Like he about to get like the bare minimum or the bare maximum. I think he'll get what this kid got. And if he doesn't, I think it's going to be a whole nother it's going to be a whole nother regardless, as you guys know. But yeah, I think what this means for Karmelo, that's the most he's going to get, in my opinion. This ain't no legal expert opinion. I'm not no lawyer. I am someone who watches sports and basketball and talks about it on YouTube. Hold on, where's okay. Where's this next thing at? It's something going on.
That's for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
We can't ask Rashad questions.
Hey, Rashad.